which means, again, that we will be looking at the potential for some areas of thunderstorms coming up in the next several days, toward about somewhere around the beginning of the month of April, but we're just not looking at too much of anything in the way of major amounts of problems, at least for right now. Is there a possibility of severe weather? Yes, but again, it doesn't really seem like it's going to be too much of an issue at this time, and we'll keep an eye on that to be certain. So keep it tuned to News 12 as we keep you advised as to what's going on. All right, audio is working on Facebook. Let's hope that it doesn't sound like I'm talking into a coffee can. And we are live on Twitch, so let's go ahead and get things going. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onek. It is way out there when it comes to mold and tree pollen. Weeds and grass are apparently fairly low. This information from the Chattanooga Allergy Clinic. So we're seeing, again, not bad air quality, just about green to yellow. That's good to moderate. So not a major problem with stagnant air, but we will be seeing more potential of some more pollen sticking around the area as we go into the next couple of days. We'll talk about that again coming up here in just a little bit. Okay, getting started for tonight. This is Weather Overtime. This is our online video weather blog from Chattanooga, Tennessee, southeastern United States, northern continent of America, western hemisphere, third rock from the sun, Milky Way galaxy, Sagittarius arm, somewhere in there. So thanks for joining us for tonight. We don't have a lot going on immediately, and again, that's just fine because we could see some very possibly rougher weather coming our way by next week, so we don't see too much of anything going on right now. So like last night, weather overtime may be just a little bit shorter than usual, depending on how many folks ask and we get questions answered. So we'll talk more about just whatever we can find out there for now. So stay tuned for a lot more on weather overtime for Wednesday night, 27th of March. 72 the high, 68 the normal, 87 the record high, which was last set back in 2020, and the low temperature 48, just above where we should be for this time of the year, back to around 45 on that number. We do see, again, nothing in the way of rainfall. We are still ahead for the month and for the year by fractions of an inch. So we do have, again, the potential for some rain next week. Until then, it looks like we're going to be staying very much on the dry side. So doubt we're going to be seeing too much of anything changing for the way of getting the pollen washed out of the air. So if you're decently susceptible to all that pollen out there, that is going to help nobody at this point in time. So we look to see more potential of dry weather throughout the next few days. So probably going to end up March on a very low note for precipitation, but hopefully not too much in the hole where it comes to rainfall. We're doing pretty good for the month and for the year. We just could use a little bit more in the way of some moisture out there. Weather Window, Langley Roofing sponsored picture of the day. This is something that you don't often see. It's like the tumblers of a key in a lock. Everything has to line up properly for the lock to open. And this is a really cool atmospheric optic effect. What we're looking at is, again, right back up here at the top portion of your screen. Sun is down this direction, blue sky back toward the areas at the top portion of the screen. This was sent in to us by News 12 viewer Tom Scott from Tellico Plains. Apologies for the lack of the S there in Tennessee. What you're looking at is sometimes called a backwards rainbow, but the basic term for it is called a circumzenithal arc, or a CZA. It's also known as a Bravais arc, and also an upside down rainbow, according to Wikipedia. Great place to learn about more about what these things are called. It depends on the position of the sun, the amount, and the content of the atmosphere here, where there's either ice crystals far enough up to act as prisms, or raindrops at the right level of the atmosphere where the sunlight is coming on through. But you notice that, again, the arc is facing away from the sunlight down toward the lower sections of the ground. So really neat to be able to see there. It's usually only visible way overhead, to where this would be close to the zenith of the sky, and according to Mr. Scott's description. He saw this at about, I believe, 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So beautiful to be able to see that. And again, you have to have the right amount of moisture, the sun at the right angle, and you have to be in a good position to be able to see that. So not exactly what you would call a rainbow. In fact, it's a kind of a dry rainbow in effect. So kind of need to be able to see that. These can happen with the moon when the light of the moon is bright enough and there's enough moisture to form a lunar circumzenithal arc. So really neat to be able to see this. So thank you very much, Tom Scott, for sending in a beautiful picture there, something we don't often see. If you've got pictures weather related, please send them in to us at pictures@wdef.com. Drop them to the comments section of our Facebook, X, or Instagram pages, or again, you can go to our website at wdef.com/photos. It's a brand new way for you to drop off your picture and look at what everybody else has been submitting. So thanks to everybody for sending in some great pictures, including that one of stuff we don't often see, a circumzenithal arc out there. For tomorrow morning, we'll have clouds at first, and then again, the clouds should be leaving the area. So by the time we get into afternoon, temperatures will be very close to just below normal. So it will be rather mild across much of the area. We'll continue again to see the potential for less in the way of any rainfall, so the kids will not see anything in the way of precipitation, and you will not need anything in the way of an umbrella or rain gear. So definitely some good news on that. Likewise for tomorrow, if you're heading out, it may be occasionally breezy. Best time for catching a fish will be again for 2:01 to 4:01 Thursday morning and 2:32 to 4:32 p.m. in the afternoon. Mostly cloudy in the morning, clearing in the afternoon, so a little bit more sunshine out there, but otherwise looking pretty good. Likewise, if you're going to be trying to make your way around 9 or 18 holes, pretty much the only thing you have to worry about at this point in time is going to be just some clouds, occasionally breezy, so not doing too bad on the winds across the area, so good news there. So hopefully the only thing you have to worry about is, again, the gophers and contacting spackler on that. We've got dry conditions, but we are starting to see some dusty conditions, a little bit hazy as those winds bring in a little bit more in the way of dust and the pollution settles down toward the rest of the lower portions of the atmosphere. Bailey's Heating and Air Camera from downtown Chattanooga, and again showing some very dry conditions across much of the area, not only downtown. Plainview Outdoor Advertising Camera from the area around 153 and 64. A pretty good scrum earlier today with plenty of backups, thanks again to some accidents around the area on the interstate system. Not seeing that now. Patriot Concrete Camera, beautiful sunset tonight around the northern section of Lookout Mountain over there toward Ruby Falls off in the distance. Chattanooga Red Wolves Stadium was a pretty good scrum thanks to construction going on and those accidents earlier tonight. Tomahawk Crane and Rigging Camera not showing anything in the way of major problems for now, for visibility or otherwise. Speedy's Total Car Care Camera, lots of folks out and about for this evening around the area of Coolidge Park, and looking very quiet for tonight from the North Shore and the Chattanooga Theater Center, and again from the Chattanooga Zoo Hug a Bunny camera, that event coming up here in the course of the next couple of days. So you have to check their website for more on that. The Chattanooga Zoo Cam looking at Erlinger Hospital, and some very mild conditions out there. Temperatures back in the mid-50s, winds out of the northwest at about 10 miles per hour, and seeing again some very breezy conditions in our future, but not too much in the way of major concerns for right now. We do have the potential of some frost for later on tonight. What we're seeing for right now is our latest cold front heading out of the picture. It's now well to our east and moving its way across much of the region. Yesterday was some rainfall chances, but that is about all that we have to worry about at this time. So again, good news on that. We do see again that area of high pressure. Apologies for the menu up here. We're trying to get rid of that. High pressure will be blocking everything, including the next storm system coming in from the west. This one diving down to the south, that will not be a problem for us. This one in the Pacific Northwest, windy, rainy, some pretty good amounts of snow helping to add to the amount of overage for the winter. So hopefully that'll help a lot in the way of the drought situation out there. Our next storm system is still way on out into portions of the North Pacific, and it'll be heading our way as we go into next week. But until then, it's going to be very quiet, as high pressure does a pretty good job of keeping things decently quiet for right now. What we've got for tonight, chilly, but some clouds sticking around at times, lower 40s. And then temperatures tomorrow afternoon, a little bit cooler, lower to mid 60s. Back in the 30s to 40s early Friday as high pressure dominates the southeast U.S. Mid to upper 60s for Friday with a few more clouds out there. And then for Saturday, we start off again not doing too bad for numbers, upper 40s, and then back in the lower to mid 70s for Saturday. Early Sunday morning for those early sunrise services, it is going to be a little brisk, but not bad. Temperatures back in the lower 50s, and then getting into the early portions of the afternoon, it looks like temperatures will be quite pleasant. Our next storm system that could affect us but will not is way up to our north, and that'll be getting, again, the potential for any chance of rainfall to stay up there as high pressure pushes this stuff back and away from us. So Sunday, Easter Sunday, looks actually pretty good. Sunrise services outdoors. Remember some chilly ones back in Kansas from a long time ago. Excuse me. So we could see the potential for some brisk conditions, but rainfall is just not going to be happening. For tonight, if you're in Grundy County, Tennessee, that is where we're seeing the potential of frost tonight. National Weather Service in Nashville issuing a frost advisory. That'll go into effect at 3 o'clock in the morning Central Time. That for most of Middle Tennessee and back into around portions of areas up around the I-40 corridor. So for right now, we do see, again, the potential of frost in these areas, not really for the rest of the News 12 viewing area. So there's really just not that much going on. But for Grundy County, if you have plants you can protect or move inside, I would get that done before you head to bed tonight, just to be on the safe side, because, again, we're going to make certain those plants are protected. And it's going to be a little brisk over the next several days, so definitely want to make certain to bring those plants indoors once again to make certain everything is protected. All right, so for the next day or two, let's take it out of March and go into April. For Maundy, Thursday, tomorrow, a few clouds. Look like it'll get cloudy in the morning, mostly sunny in the afternoon. Maundy, Thursday into Good Friday. Temperatures very pleasant in the lower 70s. For Saturday, mid-70s, a little breezy out there. Easter Sunday, a little cool in the morning. Not bad, though. Temperatures back in the mid-50s, pushing 80 degrees. April Fool's Day, next Monday. No fooling about the temperatures. We'll get more clouds out there. Back in the lower 80s there. And then a big cool down coming up as we go from Tuesday into Wednesday. That'll be our next best chance of anything involving showers or thunderstorms. Now, is there a potential of severe weather? At this time of the year, we cannot say no. So it's not a lock on that, but we do need to watch for the potential of anything happening. Right now, according to the Storm Prediction Center, on their 4 to 7 day outlook, it is going to be chances of showers and thunderstorms, but we're not seeing anything in the way of severe weather. So that, again, is very good news for right now. But I'd keep an eye on this, just if you have any outdoor plans. At this time of the year, again, from February through about April into May, that is this area of the country's best potential time for severe weather. So we really need to watch these storm systems as they get a little bit closer to us, and that is something we will be doing here, so keep it tuned to News 12. Never assume that we are through severe weather season here. With the right combination, with the right ingredients, you can make whatever it is you want to make in the kitchen. Same thing here. If you get enough energy, enough moisture, enough lift, you can get a pretty good storm system setting up, and that's what we're looking at for right now, at least for showers and thunderstorms. But we want to be very careful on this and watch what may be coming our direction. So far, again, nothing in the way of severe weather, but I would watch very carefully and keep an eye on the forecast. These days, there really is no such thing as anything involving storms striking, quote-unquote, without warning. So please keep that in mind out there. Science teachers, administrators, educators at school, if you'd like to find a way to work in information of not only about climate change, but about resilience to climate change and how that needs to happen all over the world. NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, has a great educational program available for you at their website at noaa.gov. Again, we have to consider what human caused climate change is doing all over the world. And we are, again, available. This is available to be able to put into your classroom, to be able to talk a little bit more about what's going on. This is for decently younger kids back into around the second, third grade level, for coloring, for learning about the water cycle, for learning about what climate change is doing to crops, how to adapt houses and homes around the world to extreme and a more unbalanced weather, which is what we're looking at for right now. Creating a school rain garden as a project, engaging in citizen science, learning about how to protect the shorelines, and that could be any place. Just because we're not near the ocean does not mean the kids cannot not think about the idea of helping others. And maybe somebody out there has a great idea for getting trash out of the ocean, seeing what sea level rise will do to a certain estuary, something like that. Presenting ideas to our elected officials to tell them this is what we need to be doing. Looking again, going to a youth science center to find out more about what they could do to offer ideas about change. So resilience is, again, it covers a lot of different areas. And this is our Your Environment page of the day from NOAA. It's a great way to get this information, science-based curriculum into your classroom to, again, complement what you may already have in your classroom. So if you don't have this, NOAA's got the answer on that, and that will be our link of the day that'll be posted at my websites coming up tomorrow morning. And that, again, is courtesy of NOAA's Environmental Literacy Program. So if you'd like to see that and a whole bunch of some neat and other stuff going on, please drop by my social media pages. You can follow me on social media, Facebook, X, or Instagram. I'm also available on YouTube, Tumblr, Counter Social, Mastodon, Twitch, and Post, and also on LI Chess and chess.com if you'd ever like to hit me up for a game of chess at some point in time. My handle is my ham radio license if you'd like to be able to find me out there at some point in time. So definitely want to stay tuned for more on that. Okay, so for our friend in roofing weather poll question of the day, you can get this from our website at wdef.com/vote now. This question, courtesy of the United States Geological Survey: more things can be dissolved in sulfuric acid than in water. Is that true or not? And 55% of you said yes, that is the case. Actually, 45% of you said no, that is not the case. Water is known as the universal solvent for a reason, and it can do a lot more to a lot more things than just sulfuric acid can. So that's the poll question of the day. So thanks for everybody for voting. If you'd like to vote yourself, use the QR code in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, or just go to wdef.com/vote now, and would love to be able to see what the next poll is. That goes up at midnight, so stay tuned for more on that. And glad to have friendinroofing.com as our sponsor for the day, so and for the entire program. So thank you very much for that. Let's see, what else? Is that pretty much everything? I think that should do it for tonight. We've done pretty well for this evening. We've only been on for about 20 minutes, but we want to make certain that we're covering all the details. Don't forget you can check out more about atmospheric CO2 levels courtesy of CO2 Earth. The latest data that has been available from March regarding back to February is that we are once again heading in the complete and total wrong direction. So we really need to watch that and work on drawing down fossil fuels and getting into more renewable energy as soon as possible. So if you'd like to know more about why this is so important and why we're monitoring the amount of CO2 and why it keeps going up instead of going downwards, that's a lot to take into account, but it is something that we do need to watch out for, and that's available on my social media pages as well. Think that ought to do it for tonight. Again, no severe weather, not much of anything major going on at this time, so very much on the quiet side. and should be staying that way for now. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up and send it back to your usually Wednesday night scheduled program. Dave Staley will be in on News 12 at 11 for the news. We'll have Rick Nyman for sports. I'll be in, yours truly, with weather. And, of course, you can catch Chip Chapman with your forecast coming up bright and early tomorrow morning. So definitely want to stay tuned for more on that. Again, chances of rain anywhere in the near future, just not really seeing much of anything out there for the time being. Love to see some more rain to kind of get rid of the pollen situation, but that also does not appear to be a thing anytime soon. So thanks to everybody for signing up to follow along on Twitch. Thanks to everybody for following along on Facebook. As soon as we get this webcam situation taken care of, we should be live on YouTube, depending on if we can get that to work at some point soon. So stay tuned for more there. If you'd like to contact me, again, email address on Twitch at the bottom of the screen at aonic@wdef.com. And, of course, you can catch any of us here at wdef.com. That's our main website. And you can find our forecast available at wdef.com/weather. Live and direct from downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee, USA, I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onig. This has been the Wednesday, March 27th edition of Weather Overtime. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for much more with News 12 on air and online, and we'll see you again coming up on Thursday evening. Thanks for joining us.